Hello and welcome to the seventh Sunday in Ordinary Time. Today is a very, very special day for us here at Robuni. We are celebrating our 14th anniversary. I won't give the homily that I gave at Mass for the 14th anniversary, but I want to thank you for being part of our journey these past 14 years. Really, through ministry and through coming in touch with you and in contact with you, we have come to know, to touch, and to feel the presence of God. So thank you so much for that. One of the things that I raised during Mass from the readings is this. The first question that I ask is this. I asked the church, do we have any holy people here? If you know that you are holy, please raise your hand. And I paused. I looked around. Not a single person raised their hand. Then I said, seriously, out of this whole church, we don't have a single holy person. One person raised their hand. They had the courage to say, I am holy. Therein lies the problem, I think. How we understand holiness. Because most of us, holiness is synonymous to churchiness. And whatever that churchiness means, or maybe it is in line with not committing a sin. But really, if we look into the Hebrew scriptures, holiness has very little, if nothing, to do with not sinning. Holiness, from the Hebrew scriptures, is supposed to mean set apart. So the people are set apart for God. That is holy. Holy are the things, like, for example, the chalice and the pattern and mass, they are holy because they are set apart for the Eucharist. So holiness simply means being set apart, being called, being chosen. And so when we ask, is there anybody who is holy in this church, having given that explanation that holiness is actually a state of mind, right? How do I see myself? Do I see myself as completely belonging to God? Right? It is a way that we view ourselves, that no matter what happens in my life, I belong to God. Now, I have to ask that question one more time. Who out there thinks that they belong totally to God? Then all of a sudden, several hands go up because, yeah, I can see myself as belonging to God. That doesn't mean I am without fault. That doesn't mean I don't hurt people. That doesn't mean I don't disappoint people. But I understand myself as belonging to God. That was earlier on in the scriptures. By the time we get to Leviticus, holiness has to do with what? Who among us has the discipline and the courage not to harbor hatred in their heart? Now, that's an easy one to ask, right? But the more difficult question is, do you know of anyone who has been hurt? Or have you ever been betrayed by another? Not the kind of betrayal that you get over in a day. The kind of betrayal that takes years to get over. That takes time to get over. That takes work to get over. Holiness, the holy person, is one who has grappled with that and found it in their heart not to be hurtful. That's what the Leviticus says. Be holy as I, the Lord your God, am holy. Don't hurt people. Don't harbor hatred. Jesus in the gospel passage talks about, you've heard it said, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. What does that mean? That, or you have heard it said, if somebody slaps you on the other one hand, turn the other cheek. What does all that mean? Well, turning the cheek is actually an Aramaic idiom. It simply means have the courage to stop the violence. because a slap on the right hand, it means a slap on the back of the hand, is a sign of disrespect. Turn the other cheek means not literally turn the other cheek, because you remember when Jesus was slapped, did he turn the other cheek? No. In fact, when Jesus was slapped in the courtyard, what did he do? He looked at the person who slapped him and said, "Why did you do it? Did I say anything wrong?" He stopped the violence with words. He found a way to engage that other person. So the gospel passage really is asking us this question, or this request comes to us. If there is a conflict between you and somebody out there, can I ask a favor of you? Can you be the bigger person in the room and do whatever it takes to stop this pettiness? That's simply all that Jesus is asking, because if we go tit for tat and we say this and that, and it will continue, the violence will continue, the disrespect will continue. All he's asking is, somebody has got to be the bigger person. And I ask that you, my disciples, you be the bigger person in the room. And if you are the first one to bend the knee and say, "I'm sorry, I hurt you," and if that can stop the pettiness, the grumbling, the backbiting, do it. Welcome to the 7th Sunday in Ordinary Time. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.